Guys, a couple of weeks ago, a news came that Conor McGregor is in talks with the Mbani family to actually have a fight with Logan Paul, a pro boxing fight with Logan Paul in India, which would be an exhibition match. So there will be no decisive winner of the fight. And Logan Paul was on the same table as well. But after a few days, the news actually came. The news that has been revolving around right now is that Conor McGregor is in talks with Jake Paul instead of Logan Paul to have a fight. And I think this is more of like a legit news, and I think fans would like it more because Jake Paul is a better boxer, I would say, as compared to Logan Paul. Logan is not like he's not very consistent or he's not married to boxing like Jake Paul. Jake Paul, although he's a YouTuber, he's taking boxing very seriously, and he's been fighting like some sort of competition, not the high level competition, but at least he's fighting some of the guys who have like previous background in fighting. And but Jake Paul actually came out and he said that he will only fight Conor McGregor if he has been given the word by Dana White. So if it's been made clear by Dana White that there could be discussions between UFC and Jake Paul regarding Conor's fight, because Conor McGregor is in contract with the UFC and he has two fights left on the table. So the question is, would Dana White actually be okay with the fight? Because 3 years ago, Dana White actually came out and said clearly that he doesn't want to do any of the business with the Paul brothers. He doesn't like them, and UFC would not do any exhibition matches. That's why any of the other guys who tried to have the exhibition matches after Conor McGregor or try to go to boxing to have a fight, they were not allowed to do it. Like Francis Ngannou, when he was in contract with the UFC, he was never allowed to fight Anthony Joshua. He only did it later when he was out of the contract of the UFC. Some of the other guys tried, like Sugar Sean O'Malley. He was talking about fighting Gervonta Davis, and you have some other guys actually trying to do the same thing, but none of them were allowed. So is Conor McGregor going to be allowed to do that? I think if they allow Conor McGregor to somehow do that, now we know that UFC actually falls under the same parent company as WWE falls in, and Logan Paul is a WWE wrestler, so they could have a pretty good storyline that Conor fights Jake Paul in like a boxing match in India, which they could have like talks prior to regarding the outcomes of the fight. They could probably decide the outcomes of the fight. So that fight is like a close fight or something, and then from there they can set up a rivalry between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul, and then they could have a fight in potential Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania is going to be in March, so Conor have a fight against Jake Paul, and Conor actually needs a little bit of popularity right now because his popularity has gone down because of that rape case. So if he fights Jake Paul, and fans actually want to see Conor McGregor back, so I think that would be a good step for Conor McGregor. Have a fight against Jake Paul, and then have a fight against Logan Paul in WWE. So I just want to see if Dana White plays the same rules as he used to.